folks, Segasonicfan here, and I've got some rare special treats with a very deluxe Game Gear that you've probably never seen before. Let's dive on into it. First, we've got our classic gray Game Gear. This is a this is a 2 ASIC Model VA0, Model 1 Game Gear, and it's got my custom Everdrive GG label that I made. You can actually download this for free on my website. And what's this here? We've got a tactile push button instead of a toggle switch, and a USB port. Could it be that this has built-in lithium polymer batteries? Why, yes it does. This actually was the first ever lithium polymer all built-in Game Gear, because I designed it myself in 2018. And what have we got here? Could this be a rare new Game Gear game in development? From the ex-developers of GGLS2? At least some of them. This thing is really cool. Gunstream. It's in development right now. And the developer made this Caravan Challenge version. So people could get a feel for the game before the full version comes out. They actually made a box and manual for it too. And it was very expensive and very hard to come by. I really hope that they do a wide release when they finish the game, because this is amazing. It feels a lot more authentic than GGLS3, a lot more authentic to like kind of working within the means of the Game Gear, and the pacing is a lot better, I think, too. I really like it a lot. The only negative thing I can say about this game so far is the music is a little bit lackluster. It's okay, it does the job, but I think and hope that they will find a better composer to make the real high-intensity jams. But as you can see, this is good stuff. It's got a lot of the power-up systems that you're used to, and it really feels like GGLS 2.5. I'm totally digging this. But there's more. So I'm actually going to do something that took a lot of work. I'm going to dim this display. Now it's going to flicker on video, but in real life, this doesn't flicker at all with in person. You can see I turn this display all the way off using the contrast dial. You might think that's not a big deal, but it is, because this is not a McWill LCD. No, this is in fact the Norix GGLCD from 2015. This was the first ever LCD upgrade you could get, and you had to drill out the bezel to get the full field of view from it. It was a pain back then, but it's kind of cool now because I got a larger screen in here. Let's take a look at the inside. We've got, you see, the GGLCD version 1.2 board. And we've got my custom PowerBoard Pro circuit that I designed here. That's version 2.7, I believe. We've got the two plugs for the lithium polymer batteries, which are in the battery compartments here. And we've got a microcontroller. In this case, it's the MH-ET Tiny 88, which is an AT Tiny 88 development board. And what this is doing is adding backlight control to the GGLCD, which does not actually have its stock, and has a very bright screen, very bright backlight. So it's something I really wanted to do. It's pretty cool. It turned out to be a lot harder than expected. The AT Tiny 88 has a ton of quirks, and the actual manufacturer's board manager does not support the first 5 analog input pins for some reason. It's got a bug for port C. So I had to use the AT Tiny Core library, the board manager I mean, which actually did support A0. I got some help from some folks online, which was fantastic. The other thing I needed to do was change the PWM frequency. For those that work with the 8-bit AVR microcontrollers, you all know that that's not super easy, because you have to do port manipulations basically to the timers and everything to a particular port. And that turned out to be harder than I thought, because I was actually aiming for a very low frequency, which required a pre-scaler. It's basically a pre-clock divider for the master clock. And that's because this boost converter, this DC to DC boost converter, only supports 100 hertz to 500 hertz. And so I wanted to give it 100 hertz because there's actually audible noise that you get when your frequency is in the audible human range like that. I used my oscilloscope and spectrum analyzer to find that there was a pulse on the 5-volt rail that was being created by the pulsing PWM load of this chip, because the way the modification works is you're actually toggling the enable pin. And so this capacitor and the whole charge circuitry is, there's a oscillating power draw that was actually manufacturing itself or showing itself in audible noise from the speaker. So by increasing a 100 UF capacitor to 1,000 microfarads, and by lowering the frequency to 101 hertz in this case, everything is working like a charm, and you don't hear the noise. It sounds great. There's a VGA jack, as you can see, which I'll eventually wire up to do some RGB and VGA gaming. And everything is wired neatly, as you can see. And I've got plenty of room to add more features and more things. So hopefully you found this video interesting. This is the Norix Super Rare Game Gear LCD upgrade with Gunstream, a super rare game that's coming out. The GG Powerboard Pro, which is a super rare add-on that I only sold to a few people so far, some prototypes. And the first ever Game Gear to have brightness control for the Norix GGLCD. Hope you had fun watching this. This is Segasonicfan, signing out.